All right, guys, with week 4 in the books here, guys, we're going to tell you everything you need to know what happened last week. We're going to get into the injury news and notes, and then we're going to take a look at week 5, and we got bye weeks coming up this week, guys. We got your back. Don't worry about it. Let's go. All right. Welcome to the show. This is the Frankly Fantasy Football Podcast. We are your hosts, Frankie and Johnny. Whew, we made it through. Now, I'm not going to say the word, Frank, because first of all, I want to start off by apologizing to everybody who listens. But our podcast last week was really difficult to find because we said a word that you're not allowed to say apparently on YouTube, and we said it a lot. I went through to try to edit it, man. We said the word 25 times in the episode, so they kind of suppress things down. You know, we're a fantasy football podcast. I guess we're not supposed to be saying it rhymes with schmudschmath, also rhymes with schmepstein, and rhymes with schmitty. You can't say those things, apparently. We're just having a good time, but sorry about that, guys. We'll make sure this episode is going to be right in the top of your feed, I promise you. Welcome to the show, guys. Welcome in. Thank you so much for listening. Please don't forget, follow us on social media. That's where the fun is, guys. We have such a good time. Frankie puts out Tuesday waiver wire video on TikTok and Instagram, as well as Fridays with Frankie. It's the top 5 things you need to know going into the weekend. Who's sitting, who's starting, who's going to be a surprise out, like Jaylen Warren was this past week. That got us all by surprise at 9:30 in the morning Eastern time. But guys, check us out. Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, YouTube Reels, Frankly Fantasy Football. Check it all out. And don't forget, please subscribe, like, hit that notification bell on YouTube, guys. It's going to tell you every week when these episodes come out and give you all the information. Frankie, all that being said, we're going to get into it in the news, man. But my God, every week just feels like, just hoping and praying. Can I get through this week without my team being completely decimated, man? I lost Malik. How'd you do? Did you lose anybody?
Lost the guy that we were holding for, and it's a tough one, man. I mean, that's just something you can't control. Between Malik and Tyreek,
you're 100% right. And you were all over Tyreek this year, and you weren't wrong. You were right. And it's brutal, man. We're gonna get through this stuff. I promise you. God. Stick with us, guys. We'll go through all the injury news here. We're going to get into the injury news. We're going to do a little recap from last week, and then we're going to jump ahead to week 5 and take a look. We've got bye weeks this week with all these injuries. You're going to need to know who to play this week, guys, so stick with us. We're going to let you know what's up here. First, Frankie, let's do a champion check-in. We said we were going to do this every 4 weeks, and that came very quickly. It's already 4 weeks in the books, man. So let's do a little champion check-in here. Let's look at our quarterbacks, Frankie. My champion was Bo Nix, and yours was Dak Prescott. How are we looking so far here, man?
So, John, from Dak Prescott's perspective, he's sitting right now at QB 10. So he's a QB 1 for most leagues. He's coming off arguably his best game. So really excited about that, man.
I absolutely love that. Bo Nix, he's QB 14 at the moment, so he's not quite there, but he's got a lot of promise. We've seen some good flash out of him. I mean, Bo Nix can continue to give you that work on the ground and scoring touchdowns. But man, I mean, last week the guy had 333 and 3 touchdowns. He can't play Cincinnati every week, unfortunately. But great call on Dak, man. I mean, even without CD, the dude's just playing extremely well against all odds, really, too. Running backs, let's take a look here. I had Josh Jacobs, you had JT, Jonathan Taylor. Right. I think we're doing well there, man. I mean, those guys are looking good. We said that the Packers were going to come back with a vengeance, and Josh Jacobs specifically. He did. Thank you for making us right. And JT, I mean, the number 2 running back in fantasy football. Yeah, that you got on the 2-3 turn. Nice work with the champion work there, Frankie. Receivers, Tedoroa McMillan. He's playing well, and he's a startable piece, guys. He's not an every week starter right now, but he's definitely a flex piece. He's got a Bryce Young problem. So I can see Tedoroa McMillan still producing and still getting better and better each week. So we'll keep monitoring that. But Frankie, yours is Drake London, baby. Looking good. It's been a little bit of a roller coaster ride with that team getting, completely boat raced and shut out last week and then coming out with a vengeance this week. Drake London looks fantastic. So great job there. And our tight ends. I'm going to take a victory lap on Tyler Warren, man. I was huge on him early in the season coming into the draft. I said he was going to do all these different things. He rushed for a touchdown this week. I love the utilization of what they're doing with him. And yours was Evan Ingram. So jury's still out on that one. He's been banged up.
Yeah.
He's been banged up, man. Not bad with the champions so far. Champion check-in, I would give us a B+. We need to see more, but I think we're right on track, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right, let's talk about what happened last week. Let's look a recap on week 4 here, Frank. We had our first game, NFL game ever in Dublin in Ireland. That was super cool.
Cool. Super cool, man. And Ireland, what a hell of a host for the NFL. I mean, seriously, outside of Skylar Thompson getting jumped, other than that, it was an awesome showing. The Irish really stood out. It was cool to see.
Hey, if you're going to mug and jump a guy, at least give him credit.
Yeah.
I mean, that of all the Pittsburgh Steelers, that's the
They're
guy.
going down a line like, nope, nope.
No, not him. Not him. Not you. Just you. Yeah. What are you, about 5'11", white? Let's go. 180 pounds soaking wet? Yeah, I want you. But great game in Dublin, man. Yeah, you got to love that. Let's look at some upsets here, man. Big surprises. My God, this is what makes fantasy football so fun. Because some of this stuff is so hard to predict. You've got the Giants upsetting the Chargers. Nobody saw that coming, man. Talk a little bit about some of the highlights there. What'd you see?
You saw like Jackson Dart actually take command of an offense. And that's what was fun against an excellent defense. And it was a perfect storm, man. It's kind of like when Mike White went in years ago against the Cincinnati Bengals. When Mike White played for the Jets, there's just no film on him. And so when he came in, right, that's an advantage. Love to see that. And man, Cam Scatterbo. I mean, I want a Cam Scatterbo jersey.
So fun.
I'm jumping on the train.
Yeah, he's the juggernaut, man. It's hilarious. I saw a hilarious meme that was floating around, and I had like 15 people send it to me. And it said, Cam Scatterbo getting ready for the game. And it's this guy in his living room, and he's huge, he's ready to go. And he just runs at the wall and just sticks his head into the drywall, and it just sticks there. It's the funniest shit I've ever seen, but that's Cam Scatterbo. He's the juggernaut, bitch. I mean, that's what he is, man. I want a Cam Scatterbo t-shirt that says that. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. That's what I want.
Awesome.
Yeah. What else from this game are you seeing here, man?
It sucks to say this, but Malik Nabers going down, guys, it's going to completely transform this offense from a receiver perspective. So we're going to have to be paying attention to Wan'Dale Robinson, and we'll touch on it here in a minute, but some of the other guys that we're going to have to stay up to date on and probably going to be a waiver wire pick. But the flip side of it is, man, for the Chargers, I mean, welcome to the NFL, Omarion Hampton.
Yes,
good sir.
Well done. I've got him in 2 leagues. Thank God he came through for us.
And also what we're seeing, guys, a bit of a blunder happening, which, John, I don't even know how to describe this, is Ladd McConkey. I don't understand what's going on in that offense, because right now, man, it's the Quentin Johnston, Keenan Allen show with Omarion Hampton, and Laddie is damn near third, fourth option. So really interesting, guys. You're going to have to, I mean, seriously, if I'm on the end of the spectrum and I have Ladd McConkey, guys, I'm going to package him up and I'm offloading him. Unless you're praying for an injury at this point for one of those other guys, and you never want to pray for that to happen, but it's the reality for fantasy football. So for me, guys, I mean, you got to be looking potentially elsewhere, package him up and try to upgrade that position.
I'm kind of thinking about it in a little bit different way, Frankie. I kind of see Laddie as a trade 4 candidate at this point. That. And the reason why is that if you look at the distribution of targets, it's pretty even between the three of those guys. It really is. Quentin Johnston targets are just so valuable because he's down the sideline and these are deep. His ADOT is great and he's performing. You know, Keenan Allen seems to be the possession guy. He kind of took over that Ladd role, and Ladd isn't getting, obviously, the amount of targets he was getting, but he is still a favorite target. So if you really look at it, it's kind of the bounce of the ball, you know, where he's not getting the touchdowns, he's not getting those super valuable targets, but they're still there. And of course, if something happened to Keenan Allen, which he's a little long in the tooth, I can see him missing a few games anyway, you know, throughout the year. Ladd McConkey's kind of a trade 4 candidate. So you could look at it either way, depending on what your roster looks like. If you can weather the storm and you've got other great options, maybe a trade 4 candidate for Ladd McConkey. If you're struggling and you need guys right now and you can't afford to have a guy in a 3-way love circle with Justin Herbert, then you might have to move on with him. But 2 different perspectives here, and it gives you a little bit of the reasons why, you know? Yeah. All right. Hey, Pats and Falcons, big bounce back week. Thank God. We were getting real nervous about the Falcons after getting completely just destroyed by the Panthers, who look pathetic, by the way.
Terrible.
They pulled it together, had a great game plan against the Falcons. It's a division game. I guess you can just throw that away. But hey, the big three are back, man.
They're back.
The big three are back in a big way, and I think they're all must starts, including...
Who's the big three? I want you to...
Yeah, it's Bijan Robinson, who basically had 181 yards from scrimmage, by the way. Unbelievable for Bijan. It's Drake London, your champion.
That's right.
And it's Kyle Pitts, Frankie. Absolute must start. I would start Kyle Pitts over a lot of receivers that I've got on my teams right now. The target share's there. They're getting creative. This is everything we've wanted from Kyle Pitts since he was drafted, 4 years ago? Yeah. Something like that. Yeah. This is the utilization and what we wanted, and Penix is able to get him the ball. So I love it, man. I'm huge on these guys moving forward. Now we get a bye week, get everybody healthy next week, but then they come back. But we're going to get excited about them come week 6, guys. Trust me. Frankie, the Chiefs and the Ravens. Whoa. Really interesting game there. I mean, what is this Chiefs team? It's completely different than what we saw last year.
John, it's so interesting because I was literally talking with a few people and it was before this game. And I'm like, the Chiefs just don't look like the Chiefs. And they were actually telling me, they were like, just chill. It's the same Chiefs. They're going to figure it out. Don't worry. And I'm like, are you sure? Sure as shit. Yeah, that is what's happening. Guys, the Chiefs are the Chiefs, and that's what we're seeing. They're only going to get healthier. Xavier Worthy, I mean, that completely changed the offense, just having him back. And then you start looking at, Pacheco started getting involved. He finally got some pay dirt. Congratulations to you, Pacheco. And guys, we haven't even seen Rashee Rice back yet. We're a couple weeks away from their number 1 receiver returning. Their number 2 receiver is healthy. You got Hollywood Brown and Tyquan Thornton that are doing some things. You got Travis Kelce being in the mix as well. And my Lord, man, Patrick Mahomes right now is plus 1,000 for MVP. Okay, that might be something that you folks want to be taking because Patrick Mahomes looks incredible at this point in time. So for me, man, the Chiefs look great. I can't say the same for the Ravens.
Yeah, it's the truth, man. I mean, well, first of all, the Chiefs, let's stay on them for a second. They're the Chiefs, but they're not the Chiefs. They're not the same team as they were last year. Patrick Mahomes was brutal in fantasy last year because they played defense and they ran the ball. That's not what's happening here, man. The defense is not what it was. They're definitely different on defense. You can score on these guys.
Yeah.
And their running game, it's rough. I mean, I know Pacheco got in the end zone, but I mean, they're not performing well when on the ground, which is why you see Patrick Mahomes as a top 5 quarterback right now in fantasy football. And that's good. That's what we want, man. Patrick Mahomes, number 3 in half PPR right now in fantasy. So that's fantastic, man. So people got a great deal on Patrick Mahomes. Bringing in Xavier Worthy. Worthy is their Tyreek.
Yes.
That offense is completely different with Worthy in the game rather than trying to pass the ball to shells of once great players like Hollywood Brown or Juju.
Right.
Exactly. Xavier Worthy's the man. It changes that offensive scheme. And he's not even their number 1 receiver. Dude. They get Rashee Rice back. If you can trade for Patrick Mahomes, you probably can't. But if you can, it's only going to get better for him because of the trends of how they have to run their offense. It bodes well for Patrick Mahomes. It bodes well for Rashee Rice and for Xavier Worthy. But anyway, Chiefs stomped the Ravens. Interesting to see. Even with Lamar leaving, Frank, they had this game well under control before Lamar left.
Oh, definitely.
So you can't even blame it on Lamar leaving. So interesting moving forward. We'll be watching here. 40-40 tie, Frankie.
40. Get your
40s.
Wait, 40, not Edward Scissorhands. It's 40. Wait, what? You know what you do when you...
Yes, it's Edward 40 hands.
Thank you, hands. There we go.
Yeah, that's back in the 90s, early 2000s. That's what we did in college. You taped 40s to your hands and you couldn't do anything. You just had 2 big 40s.
You just had to drink. I don't know why we did that.
Because we were white trash, Frank. That's why.
Yeah, that's true.
40-40 tie, Cowboys and Packers. I mean, we knew this game was going to be good and high scoring. We didn't realize it was going to be this high scoring. An 80-point over-under was not expected here. I will say that we expected the Packers to come back with a vengeance.
Yeah.
A lot of the emotion with Micah Parsons and all of that was on their side. We talked about that. We saw that. Totally. These guys all performed. Everybody went apeshit here. We even got to see some glimpses of the rookie here with Matthew Golden. It was good to see him involved. He's not the one, though. He is not going to be the one. It's going to be Jaden Reed when he returns. And last week, it was Romeo Doubs.
3 tuds.
3 tuds for Dubs, I still think it's not like Romeo Doubs is now the locked-in solid one. I still think it's going to be spread around. It's going to go to Tucker Kraft. It's going to go to Dubs. Wicks will be involved.
Yeah.
Golden's going to be involved. So I think it's one of those teams to where if you've got one of these guys with the injuries and bye weeks, you're going to play him. You're going to stick him in your flex, and you're going to hope that he's the guy to get the 2 to 3 touchdowns this week, because I think they're just going to alternate going back and forth with each other. Talk to me a little bit about the Cowboys here, man. I mean,
John, Dak looks...
It's your champion, man.
I'll tell you what. Dak looks good, but George Pickens looks phenomenal.
Yeah.
Like, guys, this is what we expected from George Pickens when he was at the Steelers. And the God honest truth is they just couldn't make it happen. They couldn't figure it out. Russ wasn't a good enough quarterback to actually be able to throw the ball down the field effectively. And my God, man, look at what those passes, I mean, tight on the tight boundary side, that he's double covered, safety's over top, and is just right in the breadbasket. It's phenomenal, man. So hats off to a career game for George Pickens. Dak Prescott looks phenomenal. Javonte Williams, guys.
He's real deal.
Fire his ass.
Yeah.
He is a automatic start until otherwise. I mean, 85 yards and a touchdown. He has a touchdown in almost every game this year. He has to be fired up from here on out.
Yeah, man. I mean, Javonte, running back 6 right now, man. After 4 games, this is a trend, man. This is not a fluke at this point. So I'm with you 100%. I mean, I never thought I'd say this. We faded this backfield big time, but it's obvious now that we see what's happening here, man. Javonte Williams moving forward at the Jets, at Carolina, Washington.
Like it.
Dude, these next 3 games in a row here are beautiful. He's a must start at this point, especially with the injuries going on.
John, and here's what's interesting, too, about that game. Can we just all do a blanket statement here that the NFL is gladiators, okay? Let's do away with ties.
Are you not entertained?
You know what
Are you not entertained?
Like, what is going on? Like, why do we have
a tie
when these dudes are, like, putting everything on the line? You know what? I was watching Pat McAfee. And he came, I mean, brilliant. Absolutely. First off, love the dude. Secondly, this was a brilliant idea. It's called the Golden Boot. And what Pat McAfee was saying, guys, was if it comes down to a tie, so overtime's over, whatever the hell it is, instead of a tie, each team sends out their kicker, long snapper, and holder. You start at the 50-yard line, and it's a kickoff. It's kind of like hockey, man, where it's the penalty shots or, the goal shots. And I'm here for it.
I think it's a great idea.
It would be a great idea. I mean, could you imagine the hype in that stadium rocking when the opposing kicker is sitting there trying to get this kickoff? It would be amazing. So hats off. Great call out, Pat. And frankly, fantasy is on board with that.
Yeah, we are. Get it done, Pat. You know people. Come on. Get it done, baby. Let's go, man. I love it. Give me a reason to give a shit about kickers at all anymore, man. Right? Please. All right, 3 teams here, Frank. We're not going to dwell on it, but I mean, we have to. It's almost ring the bell for these teams too, man, because they just seem like they're in major trouble. It's the Jets, the Bengals, and the Titans, man. Real quick on the Bengals. I mean, it's just brutal. If they don't make a move for a quarterback, I mean, Jamar Chase might be the only person you can play because you have to.
Yeah.
And how sad was it? You and I both have Jamar. Yeah. How we got excited because he got 7 points.
Yeah. I mean, you were like, oh my God, thank God it wasn't 3.
Right. Yeah. I mean, what has the world come to that week 4, we're happy about 7 points from Jamar Chase. It's just, it's terrible. Yeah. Listen to this Bengals stat here. Bengals gained 21 yards on 18 plays in 5 full drives. The Bengals had 5 full drives and gained 21 total yards.
It's terrible.
Dude. Oh, God. It's terrible. Just absolutely terrible. Enough of the Bengals. We know we're in trouble with those guys. Titans. It's got to be a little bit better. What? The Titans have gone without a touchdown in 2 of 4 total games. Half their games this season, the team has not scored a touchdown.
It's so bad.
How can you sustain any fantasy value doing that? You can't.
It's like they're fighting for the worst offensive line. Like,
it's bad.
No, we have the worst one. It's terrible, man. I feel bad for Cam.
Here's the thing with the Titans, guys. It's pretty simple. There's no fantasy analysis here that needs to happen.
Nope.
You start Tony Pollard in really good matchups. I'm talking the Bengals, the Panthers, the Jags, Saints. Start him in good matchups. Otherwise, you're not playing him.
Nope.
Calvin Ridley is the only other option you can start, and the only reason you start Calvin Ridley is if you have to. You got bye weeks. You lost Mike Evans. You lost CeeDee Lamb. You lost Nabers. You lost Tyreek Hill. You're going to need receivers. He's just one of those guys. Other than that, you look for other options, guys. They just, until they can show us that they can support any fantasy value, you just can't do it. And what about the Jets, Frankie?
I mean, the Jets actually have fantasy value, guys. I felt terrible for Aaron Glenn, head coach for the Jets, because in all reality, they should have won that game. They should have won that game against Miami. And guys, for me, they had 3 fumbles, and brutal fumbles. I mean, Braylon Allen at the goal line, so on and so forth. So Breece Hall, guys, totally still has a ton of value. Yeah, I really think that Garrett Wilson is going to be, I stand on this. I think he's going to be a top 12 receiver. And also Justin Fields, guys. I mean, from an NFL perspective, you can agree or disagree how you feel about him from a quarterback standpoint. From fantasy, there's a ton of value there, straight up because of his rushing and what we're seeing with the connection of Garrett Wilson. So for me, I'm in a slightly different boat with the Jets than I am with the other 2 teams.
Yeah, I'm with you 100%. The Jets are in disarray, but they still have fantasy options and fantasy value. And if their defense isn't going to hold up like they had in the past, it's just going to give you better options on offense and more fantasy value, having to come from behind. So I'm digging it, man. All right, let's look at some rookies, Frankie. We've got some rookies shining through. Some stars are shining here, man. First guy I want to talk about here is Woody Marks. Woody, goddamn, it gives me a Woody. I'm going to tell you right now. That's the mark I've got. All over him, man. I mean, there was just something about this guy. He started to emerge in camp and started to emerge in preseason. And as the news kept coming out with Joe Mixon, people were kind of sleeping on that, thinking he may miss the entire season. I went into this year thinking Mixon's not going to play the entire season, which is why I liked Woody Marks. I was concerned about Nick Chubb, that lateral movement and shift. It's just not there for him. He's fine, but he's not Nick Chubb. Unfortunately, he's turned into a jag. He's just a guy running the ball right now, which is super unfortunate and sad. My favorite player in the NFL and has been for the past, 5, 6, 7 years, whatever it's been. But Woody Marks has juice, man. He's got the juice. You can see him explode. He's great in the passing game, and this team is not that great. So they're going to need him on the field on third down passing, long downs, coming from behind. So keep an eye on him. I'm not saying roll him out immediately here, guys, but I'm saying make sure he's on your team. Number one, if he's on your waiver wires, get his ass. And number two, keep an eye on it, because in good matchups where the game script might be a positive for him, not good matchups as in they're playing a shit defense. I'm saying a good matchup is when they're going to have to throw the ball a lot because they may be down. That's your Woody Marks start right there. So pay attention to that. But a couple other guys, Frankie, give it up for Ashton Genty, man. There he is. There he is. Can you please repeat what you said last week and let us know how that worked out?
Guys, hey, listen, we even blasted out a reel saying that this was the week. This is absolutely the week for Ashton Genty. What we've seen, again, he was getting crushed at the line. More than 50% of his snaps up until week 3, he was getting hit at or behind the line. And against the Bears, guys, we called this. I saw it. And here's another thing that's interesting. He went back to the Michael Myers stance where he is just dead straight in the backfield, guys. And I don't know about you, that's intimidating as shit. I've never seen anything like that. To that
Jahmyr
degree.
Gibbs does it. He's the only other guy that does that.
It's crazy, man. And so for me, guys, Ashton Genty, love it. So fun, was excellent.
First rookie Raider to score 3 touchdowns in a game since Bo Jackson in 1987. How cool is that stat?
Super cool.
Do you remember Bo Jackson?
Oh,
I had an infatuation with Bo Jackson in middle school. I read his Bo Knows Bo. Remember that book?
Yeah.
Yeah. I read that. And first of all, super inappropriate for a 7th grader to be reading Bo Knows Bo, because he just talked about how he was getting laid before every practice and all this. But man, he was an idol of mine growing up. That nostalgia was fantastic. I'd say Ashton Knows Bo, I guess, is where you could go with that. Yeah. Jackson Dart, we talked about it a little bit, man. Listen, here's the thing with Jackson Dart. He looks great. I picked him up in a super flex and was very happy to see this performance. But Jackson Dart's going to be up and down, guys. This is his first game in. You always see this juice when a backup quarterback or a rookie comes in. You always see the team rally around him. Obviously, the loss of Malik Nabers just decimates his ceiling.
Crushes it.
It really does. We saw the target share that Malik Nabers demands, and those targets now are up for grabs. We'll talk about it here when we get to the news and looking ahead to next week about what options to look at here. But Jackson Dart, I still like it a lot. He's going to throw to Cam Scatterbo. He's got some receiving options. We're going to have to temper some expectations, but in a super flex, I still think he's got some value, especially with that running. If he can give you 50 yards and a tutty on the ground, it's going to help out a lot. And talk to me about, we talked about Cam Scatterbo, rookie, just kicking ass and taking names here. Quinshon Judkins and RJ Harvey. Talk about some of these running backs, man.
I mean, guys, looking at Quinshon Judkins, just from the eye factor alone, he's it. He's the guy. Real true three down bell cow. He's everything that the Browns hoped he would be and then some. So he's honestly, in my personal opinion, you're firing him up. Every week until further notice, you got to fire him up. He's the only true piece on the Browns outside of maybe Fannin that's getting the job done at this point in time. And then you got RJ Harvey, man. And here's what's interesting about RJ Harvey. It has been a slug, and it's because of how good J.K. Dobbins has been. I mean, J.K. has looked very good.
Very
actually,
good.
John, you're insane to not draft J.K. There was no reason why you shouldn't.
Yeah.
And so now looking at what RJ Harvey has done, you look at the past week, this is the highest hat. So 41%, that's up from 29%, 33%, 29%. So 41%, again, good game script. And then secondly, though, it was his pass catching out of the backfield that was the differentiator this week. He had 5 targets, the most he's ever had, 4 receptions, 40 yards, and a touchdown. And then he also put together some really good yardage on the ground, only on 14 rushes for 58 yards. I think if we hold tight on RJ Harvey, we're going to start seeing him continue to rise to potentially a little bit less than a 50-50 split. But I think towards the back half of the year is when we're going to actually be able to see some true utilization for him for fantasy. So really exciting stuff to see RJ Harvey and Quinshon Judkins doing their thing.
Yeah, I'm digging it too, man. K and RJ Harvey. I'm not saying to start RJ Harvey. It's just been too inconsistent. We saw great utilization, though, finally. But some of these games, guys, where you think that the Broncos may absolutely obliterate a team or get up big, you're going to see RJ Harvey in there. They're not going to risk Dobbins. He's too aged, too many injuries. They're going to save him as long as they can. So you look at the schedule coming up here. I mean, you're at Philly, not a great situation, but at the Jets, the Giants, the Cowboys, at Houston, Las Vegas, there's going to be some options. So hold on RJ Harvey. It was exactly what we wanted to see. When he can get some opportunity and get the ball, he can perform for your team. So hold on to him and keep watching. There's going to be times where we're going to be able to play this guy, I promise you. Mecca Ibuka, just Ibuka baby. Fantastic. Fire him up. Don't take him out of your lineup until further notice. And Tyler Warren, my tight end champion.
How about that?
Same. Yeah. I mean, he's looking like Brock Bowers out there. The way they're using him, he's on the field the entire goddamn game. Yeah, loving it. Love Tyler Warren. And the last one here is Omarion Hampton. We've already done the run around the block and celebrating of Omarion Hampton, but looks fantastic here, man. Love it. Puka. Talk to me about Puka, man. I mean, guys, he's wonderful.
John, I'm going to take one for the team here and say that he was not off my board, but I was down on Puka when drafting. And the reason being was because I was scared about Matthew Stafford with the issues with his back. I was like, I don't know if I want to take Puka first round. Holy shit. I'll never do that again. Guys, I will never do. Puka is for real.
Puka, Frankie and I both need to talk to you. We're sorry, man. I'm so sorry. You're so good. I faded you. I told others to fade you. I was wrong. I'm sorry. I'm stupid. You're smart. I'm ugly. You're good looking.
Hey, man.
Puka's a beast, man. He's an absolute wide receiver, one rest of season. I'm sorry.
On pace for 178 receptions. On pace for 178 receptions, guys. It's ridiculous. He's him.
Yeah, he is him, man. And James Cook. We have to apologize for James Cook. Hey, we are going to tell you when we're right every week. I promise you we're going to tell you. But I also promise you we're going to tell you when we're wrong. Now, we didn't fade James Cook. We didn't say not to draft. He's a great player on a great team that we're projecting to go to the Super Bowl, of course. But the touchdown sustainability, we just didn't think it was there. And motherfucker is scoring every week.
Broke the franchise record of 8 consecutive games with a touchdown. And that's coming off of, what, 18 last year?
I don't think it's going to stop. There's no reason to think he's not going to score this week.
He's incredible.
Yes, the running back 1 in fantasy football right now, James Cook. Congratulations.
Nice.
All right, Frankie, let's get to the news, baby. News and notes. All right, bring out the bell, Frank. Bring out the bell. Damn, I have a feeling we're just going to bring this bell out every week, huh?
Put it away.
Hell's bells, man. All right, Malik Nabers, my baby, on my boy band.
Yeah.
Tore his ACL and he's going to miss the season, guys. This sucks. It just sucks for football. It degrades the product of the NFL. When guys like this aren't on the field, it just sucks, guys. All right, moving forward, Frank, what are we going to do here? We've given our goodbyes. We've shed our tears. Now we have to move forward. So how do we move forward with Malik Nabers being gone? How does this affect everyone?
Guys, it's going to open up a few things here. It's going to open up either Jalin Hyatt. It's going to open up Wan'Dale Robinson to see what he can actually do as receiver 1, or is it Darius Slayton? What you're going to have to do is on the waiver wire, you got to go after Slayton and then probably Hyatt, knowing that Wan'Dale Robinson is probably already on a team. If he's not, definitely pick him up first. We could see one of these guys pop. We could see kind of the spread across everybody. But I mean, a guy who is demanding almost 40% target share at one point is gone. So just tough, man. It's a shitty thing for the football.
Another one. Bring out the bell.
Damn.
Wasn't sure I was going to have to do that, but the news that came out today, the bell is appropriate. Tyreek Hill, Tyreek the Freak. It was believed to have been a dislocated knee. Well, it was.
Yep.
But he also, once they got under the hood and checked it out, there's torn ligaments. He tore an ACL. He's done for the season, guys. It's over. All right, what do we do here? Can you finally play Jaylen Waddle on a week-to-week basis and feel good?
Yes, you have to. Here's the other thing. Parker Washington is also somebody that you may want to circle. Waiver wire, guys. We'll talk about this a little bit more on my waiver wire picks. He's definitely somebody, but here is a very special surprise. Darren freaking Waller. Welcome. I actually think there's viability here with Darren Waller. So pick his ass up as well, especially for red zone threats and things like that. Waddle can't shoulder everything. He's a great receiver. He's not a phenomenal elite receiver. And so you have to have somebody else to offset that. And it could actually be that of Darren Waller, in addition to obviously Devon Achane, which we could see some uptick even more so in the receiving perspective from Achane.
These 2 injuries are going to do. It's going to increase because you've got such high volume pass catching running backs. They're going to get more targets with very little, behind them as well. I mean, you got Tyrone Tracy, who's hurt, Scattaboo's by himself, basically. You still have Singletary there, but he's not the pass catching guy. He'll go in as a mix up. Same with Ollie Gordon with Devon Achane. You're going to see Ollie Gordon, I think, running between the tackles a lot more because they're going to need Achane in the passing game.
Definitely.
So it could help both of those backs, to be perfectly honest. All right, Braylon Allen, running back to the New York Jets behind Breece Hall, left the game with a knee injury. Doesn't look real serious, but it looks like he could miss some time. He's on the watch list. So watch, we don't have a lot of info, but it's good for Breece Hall if he is off the field because Breece's utilization has been excellent.
Yeah.
Joe Mixon, guys, we talked about it a little bit. His practice window's open now, from the IR, but the team has absolutely no timetable, no clue. I don't know if Joe Mixon's going to play this year. I mean, at this point, I know it's early, and if you can hold on to him in your IR, but if you've only got one IR slot, Frank, I mean, is it feasible to drop him off of there if you've got to put somebody else on here?
Yes, absolutely. Yeah. The reason being because you might have George Kittle, you might have CD Lamb, you might have Mike Evans, you might have some of these other guys that are unfortunately just being out. I mean, God, you look at Jaylen Warren this past week, Fridays with Frankie, I was shouting that out. You have to pay attention to Jaylen Warren, guys. And if he went out, you have to be able to put him in that IR spot for when they're not playing. And so for me, man, I would actually remove him if you're kind of stressing out and need additional bench spots, because you can always then look to buy him back from an auction standpoint for a waiver wire or something along those lines. So again, guys, yeah, John, I agree. I think that if you need that additional spot, you can let go of that of Joe Mixon.
And if you think about it, it's not like Mixon's going to start practicing and come back and take the load. It's still going to be a transition. Even when he's ready to go with pads on, it's going to be a few weeks for him to get back. So if there's no timetable now, and you're coming back to the second worst offensive line in the NFL, so we're not expecting, he's not going to come back and be a top 10 running back. No. You guys, Brock Purdy, questionable for week 5. Short week to recover. They're playing on Thursday. His toes acting up here. I mean, this is going to have to be something you're really going to watch. And then Mac Jones, his backup, is banged up too. I mean, this team, are they 3-1 right now?
Yeah. Yes.
How?
And they lost to the Jags.
This team is decimated right now. It's nuts. We'll talk about the 49ers here and what to do with them coming up. Lamar Jackson, this is the one that everybody's butthole's puckered a little bit in fantasy football. And to be honest with you, we don't have answers, guys. We're recording this Tuesday afternoon. At the moment, we don't have answers. When the team comes out and says, we don't believe it's a season-ending injury, I went, wait, what? Like that was, I didn't know that was in the realm of, like that was in the realm of possibility here, is that he was going to miss the whole season?
For sure out for week 5. But to your point, man, Cooper Rush is stepping in. I mean, this doesn't bode well for Zay Flowers. This doesn't bode well for that of Bateman. And now you got teams going to be keying on Derrick Henry, who has also been severely underperforming. I mean, he hasn't had more than 60 yards rushing in the last few weeks outside of week 1. I mean, this is a problem right now in the for the Ravens.
Yeah, it is. Ricky Pearsall and Juwan Jennings, both are questionable again for the 49ers, re-aggravating the same issues they had coming in. They were questionable coming in here, and they re-aggravated. But you're going to have to watch this team. Marcus Robinson is the only healthy receiver on the team, it seems like. And then you got Tunjas as the tight end. So that could be the only 2 receiving options besides CMC. Fridays with Frankie, I guarantee there is going to be some 49er talk on that, Frankie.
Yeah.
There has to be. Bucky Irving, this one's weird. I didn't really see what happened here on Sunday with this, but Bucky Irving getting an MRI this on Monday. As of Tuesday afternoon, we haven't heard anything. It's an undisclosed injury. We don't even know what got hurt on him. But you don't just go to an MRI just to see if everything's okay. It's not a checkup, guys. You're going to have to watch that. Guarantee there's Fridays with Frankie news about Bucky Irving, too. That would be devastating this week. And Calvin Ridley was limited in snaps due to an undisclosed injury. We talked about him, man. He's a start in your flex, break in case of glass. And that's the only reason you'd have him out there, guys. Couple players to watch here. CeeDee Lamb could return to practice this week. Check his status. Jaden Daniels should be playing this week. He is set to return, but Terry McLaurin, TMC, may not. So another one you're going to have to monitor this week. Cedric Tillman could be out a few weeks with a hamstring, and Calvin Austin left the game, went to the hospital for a shoulder injury. Watch those guys. All right, guys, it is coming into week 5, football season. It's in full swing, baby. An underdog is the best place to get in on all the action. Playing underdog, it's so freaking easy, guys. You go in, you just pick whether your favorite players are going to go higher or lower on all kinds of stats. Stats like rushing yards, receptions, touchdowns, and so much more. Frankie, what do we have this week for everybody on Underdog?
Guys, this week on Underdog, I'm looking at a few different players here. We're going to start with Cam Scattaboo at the Saints, and we're going to look at higher or lower than 1 touchdown. It's going to be higher than 0.5 receiving or rushing touchdowns.
Let's go.
We're definitely going that. We're doing that all day. And we're going to pair that with Devontae Adams against that of the 49ers, higher than 55.5 receiving yards. So pair them together, throw a little bit on it, and let's enjoy.
Throw some stank on it there, Frank. Download the app today and sign up with promo code Frankly to score $100 in bonus funds or entries when you play your first $5. That's promo code Frankly. Underdog. Make picks. Win money. Must be 18 plus. 19 plus in Alabama, Nebraska, 19 plus in Colorado for some games, 21 plus in Arizona, Massachusetts, and Virginia. And present in a state where Underdog Fantasy operates. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play-and-get-terms_DFS_.html for details. Offer not valid in Maryland, Michigan, New Jersey, New York, Ohio, and Pennsylvania. Concerned with your play? Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit www.ncpgambling.org. In New York, call the 24/7 HOPE line at 1-877-8-HOPE-NY or text HOPE-NY 467-369. All right, let's look ahead. Get out the Periscope. No, that's not a Periscope. That's a, what is that? That's an eyepiece, right? What do they call? What do they call?
I don't know, man. I grew up.
What do we call that? What is that
called? A paper towel holder. I was poor growing up. It was this, okay? That's what I had.
Oh, we already established that we're white trash. I forgot about that. Yeah, that's right. All right. Week 5, look ahead, guys. Just when you think things couldn't get more difficult, we're going to throw in 4 teams on bye this week. Yikes. Yep, this week, guys, we're going to be without the Packers, without the Bears, without the Falcons, and without the Steelers. Kind of a rough start to the bye weeks, eh?
Brutal.
Yeah, it is. All right, so this week we got a London game. Let's go to London at Tottenham Stadium. We've got the Browns versus the Vikings. This is an interesting matchup. Vikings are favored by 3.5. The over-under, Frankie, I had to look at this like 10 times. It's 36.5.
Two defenses.
Yeah, I mean, who's going to be the London star? Who are you calling right now? If you're doing, say you're doing a DFS lineup and you've got to pick your captain in this game. Who's your captain? Who's the guy that's going to get all of the fantasy points? It's not going to be Jordan Mason.
Nope.
That Browns rushing defense has just bottled up everyone. Look what they did to Monty last week, man. 2 fantasy points. He had nothing. Yeah. So you can't start Jordan Mason. So, I mean, is it going to be JJ? I mean, JJ's going to be blanketed.
Hot take. You ready?
Yeah.
Quinshon Judkins will be the captain here, and I'll tell you why. What Kenneth Gainwell did against the Vikings, right, in Ireland. He had 99 yards and 2 tuds, looked fabulous, and then also Caleb Johnson got involved. And guys, what we're seeing here, I'm taking Judkins over both those guys and twice on Sunday because he's a way better player than both of them. So for me, man, I am not just saying this because I'm a ride and die Browns fan and I have them on my walls behind me, but I'm telling you, it's Judkins. And then it might be, maybe it's Addison. Oh, it's kind of crazy because I think JJ's going to have a really tough matchup with Denzel Ward. I think that this is going to give an opportunity for Addison to showcase because, again, TJ Hawkinson's going to be a big piece, but Carson Schwarzenegger's going to be there over top. And that's not a great matchup for TJ Hawkinson. So for me, man, looking at this, it's certainly not Jordan Mason. It's probably not going to be that of JJ unless something crazy happens. We did see Amon-Ra kind of break out, but again, not break out, but have a hell of a game. But it was because of the situations that the special teams put them in the turnovers. And so for me, man, I'm going to go Quinshon Judkins, and I might go Addison following that.
I love it, man. I love it. Fun fact, I will be at this game.
Johnny,
that's
come
right.
on.
I'll be in the 10th row of this game in London, England, baby. Let's go. I'll throw out some posts for you guys and send them to the channel with me and my Browns gear. And it'll be 9:30 in the morning for you guys, and I'll be drunk as piss already and ready to go.
It's great. I thought you were going to say throw out some tea and crumpets.
No, I'm not a tea guy, man. I'm not a tea guy. Yeah. I'm a beer guy. I'm an IPA guy.
IPAs and crumpets.
IPAs and crumpets there. I don't even know what a crumpet is. It's some kind of cookie or pastries. I'm not a pastry guy. All right, man, let's move on here. A.J. Brown, Frank, what are we doing? What are we doing with A.J. Brown? Unbelievable. He's playing the Broncos this week. What do you do?
I feel like Caesar, right? You're balancing it. You're like, no. And guys, the reality is A.J. Brown you're in purgatory. You're in hell. This is miserable.
You can't sit him. I mean, you're in purgatory. You're right. He's going to be on your starting lineup, and you're just going to be pissed until you're not. Do you move him?
Yes.
If he has a big game, are you moving him?
He has to have that game. Yes, guys, I would. I absolutely would. You still can absolutely get something for him after a big game. And the reality is he's frustrated. He's tweeting out things left and right. And so for me, yes, from a fantasy football perspective, you got to wait until he pops, and then you can try to offload him at that point in time. But yeah, I'm getting him off my team.
I'm going to take a hot take, and I'm going to say to start him in DFS. I know it's a really tough matchup. I would say throw him out there, man, this week and try it because we've seen the squeaky wheel work for him. This seems to happen every 6 games or so over the past couple of years. Am I right? I mean, we've seen it every year to where he gets pissed off. He'll tweet some cryptic tweet how he's not happy. Then they'll shift the game plan and get him the ball just to get him to shut up. You know, it's to keep your expensive toy, your expensive diva happy. And you see teams do that all the time. So I don't know. I just have that kind of feeling that
matchup.
It is a tough matchup.
Patrick.
Yeah, I was just going to say that. DPOY is going to be all over his ass, but they may get creative and get the ball in his hands. If you're on a team that you've been able to withstand some of these injuries and you've got A.J. Brown, he goes off this weekend. By go off, I mean 70 yards and a touchdown.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like that's going off at this point. So he does that. I'm going to go to the Malik Nabers owner. I'm going to go to the Tyreek Hill owner. I'm going to make a deal, you know, and I'm going to pick up an RB2 or I'm going to pick up a playable piece for me on my team. So think about that, guys. The moment he gets in the end zone, he's got the name value that you can still make a trade for him.
I mean, John, you think about it too with A.J. Brown. Like, what is his ceiling at this point? 67 receptions and 1,000 yards, maybe? Like, seriously, we're 4 weeks in. A quarter of the season's pretty much done. So what really is he going to do from this point? Like, I think that's probably realistic, is probably 65 receptions and maybe eclipsing that 1,000-yard mark. I mean, and if that's the case, guys, that's probably going to fall outside of the top 10 from a receiver perspective.
Oh,
and so for me, man, like I agree, John. I think that we got to look to offload him.
Agreed. And the team's playing well, and the offense, Jalen Hurts is playing well, but they're just really spreading the ball. They have so much talent.
Yeah.
Goddard's getting super involved.
Great.
You know, people are trying to shut down A.J. Brown. Goddard's getting super involved. You got Devontae Smith getting involved. The running backs, too. Right. So, yeah, it's going to be a tough go for A.J. Brown. All right, 49ers. Let's talk about it here, Frank. Yeah, 49ers week 5. What are we doing with this team right now, man? I don't get it.
Dude, this is, literally, it's CMC. For me, personally, it's CMC, and that's it. I mean, right now, man, if Ricky Pearsall plays, yeah, maybe. But again, this isn't a super great matchup, guys, against the Rams defense. The Rams defense is pretty sweet. And so, you start thinking about how this is going to unfold. You got a beaten and battered quarterback, a beaten and battered backup quarterback. Your number 1, 2, and 3 receivers are all banged up and in and out of the lineup. And so now you have Demarcus Robinson. Maybe Pearsall plays. Jennings probably won't. And then you have your stud superstar tight end who's still out. Guys, this is bad. So for me, I'm going CMC, and that's it.
I'm with you, man. It's in LA, favored by 5.5, just because of all this shit, and a 47.5 over/under. I'm with you with the CMC. If you're playing daily fantasy, I think you can take a chance on maybe Demarcus Robinson. He's the only healthy receiver on the fucking team right now. So in DFS, I think those would be decent plays. And redrafts, I don't know if I'm playing any of these guys other than, I don't even know what quarterback's going to start. They're both banged up right now. But CMC is a wide receiver 1 at the moment and a running back 2. Just keep that in mind. He's the number 1 receiver on this team, and I don't see that stopping anytime soon here, man. All right, let's look at Detroit versus Cincy.
Fire up Detroit, baby. Get them going.
Get your Lions out. It's going to be the Lions in the Coliseum this week, guys. Aiden Hutchinson, if you're in an IDP league, good on you. Congrats. He's going to eat some ass this week. Let me tell you what.
Kobayashi that shit.
Woo! Man, I'm telling you, this is going to be brutal. Fire up every possible player you can on the Detroit Lions if you've got them. This is the week. The Bengals, what are we doing? Is it's just Jamar from now on, right? Until we say otherwise. Chase Brown's done. He's dead. The game script is going to destroy Chase Brown. They're not going to be able to run the ball because their defense sucks and they can't catch up to these teams on offense.
They got to trade for a quarterback at this point. I get it. The offensive line's not going to change. I completely understand that. But at the same time, Browning is not processing the field quick enough with how shitty the offensive line is. Yeah. And so it's causing all of these other dominoes to fall. They need to trade for Russ or Kirk or somebody like that. Because right now you're seeing Lamar Jackson that's down and out. Browns, right? We're sitting at 1-3. And so right now you're looking at yourself at 2-2, right behind the Steelers at 3-1. And with incredible talent on that offensive end, guys, if I'm them, I'm going to throw a Hail Mary and try to end up getting one of these other quarterbacks to try and bolster some life in this team.
All right, speaking of, let's stay up in the AFC North here with the Ravens, man. And we talked about it a little bit, but now Cooper Rush is starting quarterback this week. We've got Mark Andrews, we've got Zay Flowers, you got Rashad Bateman, you've got Justice Hill coming out of nowhere and providing a lot of fantasy value, and Derrick Henry. What are we doing with the Baltimore team? What do we do moving forward?
I think that right now, I don't like the Zay Flowers start this week. I don't like it. Against Houston's defense, guys, with Cooper Rush starting, it's just kind of gross, but Zay Flowers could end up having 6 receptions for 40 yards. It could be something along those lines, real high and tight. But for me, man, it's also, you're looking at it from the Derrick Henry lens. Right now, if I'm Houston, I'm putting Stingley on that of Zay Flowers. I'm not even worried about Bateman and others, and I'm going to stack the box for Derrick Henry and try to shut him down. What does that do, though? That frees up Andrews. For me, Andrews is the guy that I'm circling for the Ravens that could have a big week this week. But for everybody else, I'm totally sketched out.
Not only that, the Ravens lost 3 high-impact defensive players. So I know all the focus is on Lamar, but this team really got decimated this week, Hurt real bad. So bad that they're hosting the Houston Texans, which we have not talked a lot of good things about the Houston Texans. They're favored by 3.5, Frank.
That's wild.
In Baltimore.
That's crazy.
Real wild. The over-under is 43.5. So, Vegas is not expecting a lot of scoring here, which does leave me to believe it's going to be running backs and tight ends. What about Houston in this game? Because we talked about how decimated that defense is. Could this be an interesting week for a Woody Marks play?
Yes, absolutely. Right? I think he looks to build off. This is the perfect team to do it against, which is crazy to say that because coming into the season, you're nervous when you're playing that Ravens defense. When they're wearing all black or all purple, the reality is they've been getting ran all over and then some. And then you have I'm actually going to start Woody Marks this week. I'm starting Woody Marks this week because I also have Nick Chubb. And I'm going to actually go to the Woody Marks side. But here's the other thing. I think we're going to finally actually see Nico Collins come into his own. Right now, Nico Collins hasn't performed the way that he should be performing. And it's solely because of the performance of CJ Stroud right now. I think this is a perfect get-right game. I think Houston's going to build off of what happened last week. And I think that this could be a big win for the Houston Texans.
Yeah, Nico Collins is the receiver 20 at the moment, Frank. Receiver 20. Fantasy points, 4, 12, 18, and 10. So not huge weeks. He had a nice week against Jacksonville, but even against Tennessee, who's pathetic, 10 points. So I do think this is the week. And then I also think you can play Dalton Schultz in this game. You know, those linebacker injuries that happen with the Baltimore defense. I think you can see Dalton Schultz get into the end zone in this game, man. Absolutely. All right, let's move forward here and let's take a look at the Giants this week. We said we'd talk about it. Frankie, what are we doing? Who are you spending money on as far as waiver? Because let's face it, all these receivers are going to be on the waiver wire most likely.
For me, it's Wan'Dale Robinson. You unload the bank here. Like, seriously, I'm unloading the bank if he's there. If he's not there, then I'm going to go Darius Slayton. And I'm not going to go crazy, but I am going to get a little bit in there. Probably 10% of what you have left, maybe a little bit more of that. Darius Slayton, I think it's worth a shot, something much less for Jalin Hyatt. Somebody's got to help here. Somebody's got to step up to the plate, especially with a rookie quarterback. I think that they're going to rely heavily on that of Scatterbo now moving forward. But I also think we could see an uptick with Theo Johnson. I think we could also see an uptick with probably that of Darius Slayton. But again, they drafted Jalin Hyatt only a few years ago with some pretty heavy capital in their draft class. So for me, man, there's going to be one of these other guys that end up popping, and you just need a piece. I'm trying to get a piece of that offense.
Could be an interesting game for FanDuel.
Yeah.
You know, I know these teams aren't like lighting the scoreboard on fire or anything, but I mean, you're talking the Giants playing in New Orleans, and New Orleans is favored by 1.5. I mean, both of these teams are struggling. Let's just see what happens here. The total over-unders at 40.5, so they're not looking at a huge barn burner of a game. But I think it's a game where you're going to get a lot of value out of Scatterbo. I think it's a game where you're going to get a lot of value out of Kamara.
Yes.
Kamara, I'm starting to have the feelings, Frank, that they could look at a midseason trade before the deadline with Kamara this year.
And then roll with Kendre?
Roll with Kendre Miller, which, by the way, Kendre Miller looked excellent. We finally are seeing a little bit of consistency and playing time for Kendre Miller. It was a nice 50-50 split between the two of those guys right now. Is Kendre Miller a guy you could even consider throwing out this week?
Definitely, guys. I mean, when you look at what he did, John, even at 31% snap share, he ended up having 11 rushes, 65 yards, and a touchdown. I mean, that for those that are bad at math, that's 5.9 yards a carry. He looked excellent. And against that of the Giants, guys, I know the Giants have a good front, but if you're banged up and you have, maybe DeAndre Swift on bye, or that of you had Jaylen Warren or Kenneth Gainwell or Bijan or any of these other guys that are on bye weeks, yes, that might be a solid pickup and a good opportunity for you to see if he can continue to build off this. Because what we could end up seeing, guys, is it's going to be Kamara and more of that pass-catching realm. Think of him as a Devon Achane light, and then that of Kendre Miller coming in and playing that Ollie Gordon type of role.
I love it. And Kamara still looks good. I mean, he's still 15 rushes for 70 yards, 4 catches and 5 targets, and that's at Buffalo as well. I mean, this team played with some serious heart, so I could see some fantasy value coming out of this one for sure, man. All right, last one here, Frank. Revenge game and a divisional rivalry game. Buffalo versus Stephon Diggs. I love how Stephon Diggs is like who we're saying. It's the Patriots, but Stephon Diggs, Talk to me about Stephon Diggs. I think he's been very quiet. I think he's been sitting on a lot of benches waiting for people to see what his involvement is. Well, spoiler alert, please let us know what's going on with Stephon Diggs.
Rivalry game, revenge game in multiple levels, divisional rival, and then you take it a step further. I'm telling you, Stephon Diggs has had this game circled for a minute, guys.
Oh, yeah.
And he was excellent at Buffalo.
What? Wait, whoa. Stephon Diggs doesn't hold grudges.
Oh, never.
Stephon Diggs, come on. He's a live and let live, happy-go-lucky guy. What are you talking about?
This dude has Josh Allen's face plastered on his wall, right?
You goddamn
like
right he does.
You guys looking at what he's done. And again, right, we've heard Drake May come out now back-to-back weeks and say, I promise I'm going to get him more targets. And that's what he did. 7 targets, 6 receptions for 101 yards this past week. Guys, I'm really excited about the trajectory of Stephon Diggs. For me, I'm rolling him out there. I'm starting him against this Buffalo defense. Buffalo defense is a good defense, but they're banged up, right? They're missing some studs. This could actually be the game of the week. When you see the Patriots and how they're playing, obviously we know the Bills, but dude, I'm telling you, the Bills kind of took the Saints a little bit light last week. And it showed. There were some questionable plays that you're like, holy shit, are the Saints going to pull this off? And then, of course, Buffalo ended up putting the boot on the throat a little bit. But you can't do that with the Patriots, man. And Mike Vrabel's going to have this team ready to play. Stephon Diggs is going to be ready to play. Drake May is looking better and better each week. Trevion Henderson is starting to get some pay dirt.
Yes.
And so for me, man, this is going to be a very fun game. I'm firing up Stephon Diggs this week, and I'll put my money where my mouth is.
I mean, Vegas is looking at a lot of scoring here, man. It's a Sunday night football game. It's in Buffalo. Buffalo's favored 7.5, and the over-under's 49.5. Vegas is calling for 50 fucking points. You don't see a lot of 50-point over-unders here, man.
No.
And so that's excellent in fantasy. So that means you're starting a lot of these guys. So we talked about Diggs. He's a must-start. You got a 50-point over-under the way he's been performing. Diggs is a must-start. Drake May in a super flex, excellent.
Totally.
Very, very, very good. What about the running backs? We did see Trevion come in. We did see Trevion starting to get some more. Nobody fumbled this week, thank God, because that screws everything up. Ramondre fumbles, then they bench him and bring in Trevion. Now everybody's kind of healthy and everybody's not fumbling. What do you think that's going to look like? Do you think this is a good week for Trevion? I mean, it seems to me they should have Trevion on the field at least 30-40% of the time. Bills are going to be up. We think they should be.
They should be.
You'd think there should be some passes out of the backfield and dump-offs or wheel routes for Trevion Henderson. Wouldn't you think? Doesn't it seem to lend itself to saying you could toy with flexing Trevion?
I do. John, I do. I agree. And when you start looking at the snap share, guys, just to give you some insight, Ramondre Stevenson had 57% snap share. And then that of Trevion, he ended up having, I believe, it was right around the 31% snap share. But here's what's interesting. Trevion Henderson had 7 rushes to that of Ramondre's 9. And Trevion Henderson, though, had 2 targets compared to Ramondre's 1. Guys, what this is telling me is it truly is going to be more of a 50-50 split. But when you come to more of a pass-catching role, you can't deny what Trevion Henderson has been able to do. He's been phenomenal, whether it's been college, whether it's been preseason, or whether it's been outside of the first few games when he's gotten an opportunity. So yeah, man, I think and again, putting my money where my mouth is, I'm starting Trevion Henderson this week in our big 14-team league because it's so deep. And there's really, with the bye weeks, man, there's very few and far between options that you're going to have, knowing that Jacobs is out, DeAndre Swift, we named a few, Bijan, it's a big deal. So yeah, man, I'm willing to fire up Henderson and kind of pray for some pay dirt.
Talk to me about Buffalo with the receivers. I mean, the way everybody looks at it, this is a team that is a great team. You've got Josh Allen. Man, it's a 50-point over-under. Where are all the points going to go?
I'll tell you right now, Khalil Shakur looks really freaking good, man. He looks excellent.
He's a must-start.
He's a Khalil Shakur. I'm nervous about Keon Coleman. That's who I'm nervous about. And here's why, guys. When you look at what he did week 1, by the way, he was receiver 1. That's where he finished week 1. He had 11 targets alone in week 1. Since then, from weeks 2 to 4, he's had 11 total targets, and he hasn't had over 7 fantasy points in half PPR. Guys, this is a problem. And the reason being is because there's a ton of mouths to feed right now. You got Dalton Kincaid that's had back-to-back weeks of touchdowns, right? You have Khalil Shakur, who's being a stud. You have Joshua Palmer, who they brought in, right? And now you're starting to see, James Cook is just being James Cook. And then Josh Allen is doing Josh Allen things. And what I mean by that is his rushing ability. So for me, man, I'm really nervous about that of Keon Coleman. And we got to start seeing the targets come to him because, again, it's not like he's getting targets and then he's just missing it. He's not even getting the looks. And so for me, I'm sitting Keon Coleman.
God, it's tough for me. I mean, the only way I would say absolutely start Keon Coleman is if you've got Josh Allen. You're in a 12 or 14 team league and you've got Josh Allen. Go for the stack. That'll give you a little extra boost, but you're right. We're just not sure where it's going. Khalil Shakir obviously has his role locked in, and he's just peppering other people. So it depends on how they're game planning. But I don't know, man. It's hard to sit any Buffalo options because any of those guys can go off at any moment. All right, guys, that is the show for the day. Thank you so much for joining us. Frankie, do you have a bold prediction for this week?
Ooh.
Week 5 bold prediction?
Week 5.
Yeah, give me something crazy. Put you on the spot here, man.
Here we go. Bold prediction here. Yeah. Cam Scatterboo will be a top 7 back this week.
I love it.
Top 7 back this week against that of the Saints.
I'm going to run through into my kitchen and blast my head through the drywall. Let's go. Oh. Let's go. I'm the juggernaut, bitch. I love it. All right, guys. Thank you so much for joining us. Frankie, any parting words?
Guys, don't forget, we're going to be dropping the waiver wire coming to you. For that way, who should I be picking up with all these crazy injuries. So be in touch with that. That's going to be dropping on Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. It's coming at you. And then don't miss out on Fridays with Frankie. Guys, I called the Jaylen Warren thing with him being questionable and potentially out. Pay attention. I promise you, I'm giving you good nuggets to hold on to for the weekend. And that way you then can adjust accordingly. That way, if you need to pick people up off waivers or what, you have the ability. So that will be dropping Friday as well, guys.
Also, don't forget to support our sponsors, guys. Yes. Check out, if you want to look at the Chat GPT of fantasy football, it's rotobot.ai. Use the promo code CHAMP, you guys, and it's going to give you a free week to check out the software. It's super cool. Frankie and I use it all the time. Yeah. Rotobot.ai. Use the code CHAMP. Get you some free shit. Also, Underdog Fantasy Sports, guys. Yeah, on your pick'ems, guys, you can get that $100 on your first $5 in your pick'ems. So let's go. That's Underdog Fantasy. Use the promo code FRANKLY. Get you some.
Get you some.
May the fantasy gods smile upon you. Bye.